next 3 question types I'm going to clump together. We're going to talk about the fill in the blank text, fill in the blank drop down, and fill in the blank drag and drop. They're all similar in how you get the end result, but I want to take a moment to show you how each of them works. So let's start with fill in the blank text. So the question setup is the same. We're going to ask our question where it says question setup. You'll type it in there, or you could do a snipping tool and insert the image, however you want to do it. You have some different options just like before. And then you're going to put in your correct answer below, and then grab your learning objectives. So I've added in my question, and now I want this to be where the students type in their answer, and it's going to be a response. And so there's 2 ways you can do the response. The first is to put an underscore and a space. So if I do that, if I hold Shift key underscore, it's going to add that in. Another way that you can do it, might be a little easier, is up here on the menu bar. If you click the R, it does the same thing. So I found that personally a little easier, but it's whatever works for you. And then that's going to end my question, or what I'm asking for. And then I'm going to come down here to the correct answer, and I'm going to type that correct answer in, which is $350. And this is where the partial match can come into play for you. We've talked about it, but if it has the partial information, you can also do case sensitive in here if you want. So you can do some different options. You'll have to just kind of play around with it and find what works best for you. All right, so then now what I have is my first response and then my answer for that first response. Of course, I'm going to go in and get my learning objectives and add those in, and then I'm going to click Save. So let's take a look at how that question looks. Here's what they're going to see. The student types in the answer. Oops. And then that's it. The next one we're going to take a look at is fill in the blank drop down. So I'm going to click on that option, and I have copy and paste. I'm going to paste my reading material that I want to share with my students. Now, just like before, I had to add in responses. And so I had a word here, so let me show you what it was. So I want to insert a response, and then I'm going to add in the correct information down below. So my response 1 is going to be flourished, and I can add a second response with it spelled wrong. And so I'm going to repeat that for the other 2 down here under response 2 and response 3. Because I had 3 responses, it automatically created those 3 options for me. I'm not limited to 1 or 2. As you can see, if I want to add a 3rd option, I could. So once I get that completed, I'll then come down here to where the correct answer is, and I'll click on the drop down, and I will choose the right answer. I'll do that for the other 2 responses as well. I can do my partial or exact match. If I want to do additional information, I can add in that as well. And then, of course, my learning objectives. When I'm done, I'll click Save. Now that my item is saved, you'll see it down towards the bottom. If I go into preview mode, I'll show you what that assessment looks like. So the students would read the information and then choose the correct answer for each of the drop downs. And then they would submit that question. The last option for fill in the blank is your drag and drop. So I have already opened that question, pasted in the same information. The difference is right here where it says possible responses. I'll click on option, and I'm going to type in my possible responses. Once I'm done, I will drag and drop the correct answers into these white boxes so that the computer can self-check. Of course, choose my learning objectives and click Save. If I go into preview and look at that question, you'll see how that one looks. So there are my white boxes, and I'll have to click and drag the right answers into the right location.